What's up, guys? This is Drake. Welcome to my talk show. Here today's special guest, director of Romeo and Juliet, Khan Yilmaz. Okay, so Khan, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I've been a movie director for the past 3 weeks, and I've been nominated for 72 Oscars, and I've won 0.
For such an impressive status, how did you decide that you wanted to do this take on Romeo and Juliet?
Well, you see, there's this really nice 4-bed, 3-bath on Louisiana that I've had my eye on, but it's pretty expensive, so I needed to make a movie.
Okay, I see. So, moving on to the actual scenes 4.1 and 4.3. In scene 4.1, how did you decide to integrate the brilliant police good cop, bad cop scheme into the movie?
Well, because I was sitting at home one night, and I was like, hey, these cop shows have like 50 seasons. Why are they so successful? It means that people like them, right? So if I want people to watch my movie, then I just make it a cop show.
That is a very good response. So please tell me, in scene 4.3, during the judge scene, how did you decide to come up with a scene with your actor, Nico Pinto, sleeping?
Well, you see, he was already very tired, so he didn't want to really do anything, and in the normal script, once Juliet takes her vial, she falls asleep. So I thought it would be a funny tie-back if we decided to make the judge who's signing off on Juliet's paper to be asleep.
Okay, so you made scene 4.1 very serious, and yet you somehow took a comedic turn on scene 4.3. Tell me, how did you decide to suddenly just shift the mood from serious to comedic?
Well, because a similar kind of shift happens in Romeo and Juliet. It goes from comedy to tragedy, but in this case, it happened to be the reverse.
Hey, I enjoyed your movie so much. I just want the audience to see how good this film was. So, can you please show them a little clip, director?
And his attires are best, but gentlemen, I pray thee leave me to myself tonight. Farewell, God knows when we shall meet again. I have a faint cold fear thrills through my veins, that almost rises up to the heart of life. I'll call them back again to comfort me. Nurse, what should she do here? My dismounting I needs must act alone. Come, Vile. What if this mission do not work at all? Shall we be married then tomorrow morning? No, this shall forbid it. Lie thou there. What if it be a poison which the friars subtly ministered to have me dead? At least in this marriage he should be dishonored. Because he married me before to Romeo? I fear it is, and yet methinks it should not. For he hath still been tried a holy man. How if, when I am laid into the tomb, I wake before the time that Romeo come to redeem me? There's a fearful point. Shall I not then be stifled in the mold, to whose foul mouth no wholesome air breathes in, and there die strangled ere my Romeo comes? Or if I live, it is not very like the horrible conceit of death at night, together with the terror of the place, as if involved in ancient receptacle. Wherefore this many hundred years the bones of all my bearded ancestors were packed, where bloody Tybalt yet but green and earth lies festering in his strong truth, where, as they say, at some hours in the night spirits resort. Alack, is it not like that I, so early waking, what with loathsome smells and strikes lit run mad. Oh, if I wake, shall I not be distraught? Environed with all these hideous fears, and madly play with my forefathers' joy, and pluck the mangled Tybalt from his shroud. And in this rage will some great kinsman bone, as with a club dash out my disarrayed brains. Oh look, methinks I see my cousin's ghost, sticking out Romeo that didn't spit his body upon a rapier's point. Stay, Tybalt, stay, Romeo, 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 here's drink I drink to thee.
Wow, that was a very, very good clip. Now, can you explain a little more of the plot to the audience since they only saw a few clips?
Well, you see, my version of Romeo and Juliet takes place in gritty El Paso, Texas, where Romeo Montague is a member of a fearsome drug cartel. He's across the border doing some work when he meets Juliet Capulet, and they instantly fall in love with each other. Unfortunately, Romeo is discovered and taken back across the border after killing Tybalt. The detective Paris, who has had his eye on Juliet for a while, offers to give Romeo mercy in exchange for Juliet's hand in marriage. Saddened by this turn of events, Juliet turns to a friend of the Capulets, Detective Lawrence, who gives Juliet an idea, or rather, he gives him a method that she could leave the country and be with Romeo, and gives him a paper that does just that. She goes off to sign. She gets it signed off by a judge, while Romeo figures out a plan to get back into the United States. Unfortunately, through the twists and turns of fate, neither plan works quite as intended, and they spend what's left of their lives together.
Okay, such a brilliant film, Con. Once again, get up for Con. Thank you so much for coming out on this show. We hope to see you again soon.
Yeah, that was
Beautiful.
Yeah. You know you go from earlier from
Sir, the time is very short.
Yes, her father would have it so, and I do nothing to slow his pace.
You say you do not know the lady's mind. Uneven is the course, I like it not.
She weeps immoderately for Tybalt's death, and that is why it talks little of love. For Venus smiles not in a house of tears, and her father sees it dangerous that her sorrow should have so much sway, that he hastes our marriage to stop the inundation of tears, and, minded by herself alone, may be put to her by society. That is the reason for our haste.
There the lady is.
Happily met, my lady and wife.
That may be, sir, when I may be a wife.
That may be, shall be, love, on Thursday next.
What must be shall be.
Haha, that's a certain text. Come you to make confession to this father.
To answer that, I should confess to you.
Do not deny to him that you love me.
I will confess you that I love him.
So will ye, I am sure that you love me.
If I do so, it will be more of prize, being spoke behind your back than to your face.
Poor soul, thy face is much abused with tears.
The tears have got small victory for by that, for it was bad enough before their spite.
Thou wrongst it more than tears with that report.
That is no slander, sir, which is a truth, and what I spake it to my face.
Thine face is my face, and thou hast slandered it.
It may be so, but for it not mine own. Are you sure at leisure, holy father, now, or shall I come to you at evening mass?
My leisure serves me, pensive daughter. My lord, we must entreat the time alone.
God's shield should I disturb devotion, Juliet, on early Thursday morning I will rouse ye. Till then adieu, and keep this holy kiss.
Oh, shut the door, and when thou hast done so, come weep with me, past hope, past cure, past help.
Ah, Juliet, I already know thy grief. It strays me past the compass of my wits. I hear thou must, and nothing may prorogue it. On Thursday next be married to this county.
Tell me not, friar, that thou hearest of this, unless thou tell me how I may prevent, if in thy wisdom thou canst give no help. God join my heart and Romeo's, though our hands and ear this hand, by thee to Romeo seal. Be not so long to speak, I long to die, but what if thou speak not of remedy?
Hold, daughter, I do spy in a kind of hope, which craves as desperate as an execution. A thing like death to chide away this shame, that copest with death himself to escape from it. And if thou darest, I'll give thee remedy.
Oh, bid me leave rather than marry Paris, and hide me with the dead man in his shroud. Things that to hear him told have made me tremble, and I will do it without fear or doubt, to live an unstained wife to my sweet love.
Hold then, go home, be merry, give consent to marry Paris. Wednesday is tomorrow. Tomorrow night, look that thou lie alone. Let not thy nurse lie with thee in thy chamber. Take thou this vial, being then in bed. The rose in thy lips and cheeks shall fade. To paly ashes the eyes' windows fall, like death when he shuts up the day of life. Shall stiff and stark and cold appear like death, and in this borrowed likeness of shrunk death, thou shalt continue 42 hours, and then awake as from a pleasant sleep. Now, when the bridge room in the morning comes, to rouse thee from thy bed, there art thou dead. Thou shalt be borne to the same ancient vault where all the kindred of the Capulets lie. In the meantime, against thou shalt wake, shall Romeo by my letters know our drift, and hither shall he come, and he and I will watch thy waking.
Give me, I'll tell not me of fear.
Hold, get you gone, be strong and prosperous. To resolve this, I will send a friar with speed.
Oh, well, strength, love may give me strength, but strength help me be a